Hello folks, this is my third attempt to do this video. Things kind of got a hand with the other two. I kept getting into an argument with myself. But we're going to be covering a review for Act 1 of Dragon May Cry 2. And I wanted to take this moment to look over the cover real quick, because I didn't have much chance to look at it earlier. I'm going to be breezing a bit because I've already reviewed this cover 3 fucking times in the other takes of these videos. But anyway, so the top corner, we have the mysterious bare-hooded character. We finally saw her at the end of Act 1. Saw glimpses of her. We'll see more of her design in, I want to say the end of Act 3 or somewhere in the middle of Act 4. I'm going to have to re-look it up, okay? And essentially her design, it was meant to have more references to who she is under the hood, but the artist kind of got mixed up along the way. On the top right, we have Spitfire. I love the design. It kind of feels more Ino. It's actually meant to reference Tsunade, because that's essentially what her storyline is. It's literally just Tsunade, a soldier turned nurse turned leader, or nurse turned soldier. Either way, that's very much her story going forward, if you guys hadn't already figured it out. I don't hide it, okay? I'm going to dive into it more with some of the bonus chapters. Not all of them, just some of them. Then we have Zecora. What is it? At the bottom corner. Like, I really love her design. There was a bit of a funny moment where they thought I said maroon or magenta somewhere on her hair color. So it had both Tempest and her with the same hair color. And like, it was hilarious. They realized something was wrong, but they couldn't be for sure until I told them. So they did fix the hairstyle. Well, the hairstyle was the same, but the hair color was different. Anyway, then we have Sludge. Sludge is a main plot point of the story. It just takes a while for him to be introduced. I still have a few chapters in like 5 and 6 that are still empty, so I could slot in extra chapters with him there, but his real introduction won't be until around Act 8 to Act 9. And as you can tell from that, I've got a lot of stuff in the backlog, okay? People wondering, like, how much am I adapting from Dragon May Cry? And sorry, how much of Dragon May Cry is Devil May Cry, the Netflix series? First off, folks, have I told you multiple times in DMs, it's not. Kinda. Whatever. This series was inspired by the trailer. I've made this clear multiple times. And I'm taking ideas that I like and splashing them into the books. But I'm not taking everything I like from it. Nor am I taking the things I hate. Because why would I? For example, I have only watched 2 episodes of the Devil May Cry Season 2. I like what I've seen. Is it peak? I wouldn't say that. There's a few moments that did feel peak. But is it really worth all the hate? No, not really. You guys tend to be over a little hype on your hate. It could be better. Yes, it could easily be better, but I'm not burning the thing down. I'm just going to keep blocking videos that tell me it's the worst thing ever, because really, what do you guys expect? It's adapting the second game. The second game was always fucking dog shit. Though I find it hilarious, I never fully finished the second game. But I can't remember for the life of me that Arius was Irish. And then I hear his voice in the series, I'm like, holy fucking shit, that is the most Irish voice ever. That is hilarious. I can't remember if he's Irish in the games, but I need to like watch a few cutscenes again just to get it back in my head. Maybe he is very Irish in the games. I don't remember because I hate that game so much. He's a lot of fun from what I've seen in the series so far. Again, I've only watched 2 episodes. There was that one moment where he kept a smooth composure until Virgil nearly revealed the obvious. And then he just got really pissed. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to enjoy this guy. He's very stupid. Anyway, he's not exactly how I pictured when I was writing the Storm King. The Storm King is meant to sort of reference him as a sort of third player between the war. And that's essentially what Arius was for the majority of his game. He was a third player in a war between Earth and Mundus. And that's what I want to do with Storm King, okay? He's not taking either side. At the same time, I'm surprised how differently I've already written Storm King compared to how they're handling Arius. There are some things that I predicted pretty damn good, okay? That he'll be using the clones, that's to be expected, yeah. I don't know how I'll be referencing that in my Dragon May Cry series, especially since we've already sort of got that with the fakes of our friends. Places. Yeah, that is the reference. Why did I forget that? Yeah, that is the reference. The clones that Arius is using are referenced as the fakes that the barehooded character using. Why did I forget that story beat? I guess it's because I've recorded this video like 3 fucking times and my brain is going into mush right now. Let me get this out of the way before I go into another long rant in the other videos. You guys can love or hate or puke or shit fuck or hate fuck or whatever you want to the Devil May Cry series. Go for it. Have fun. But no, this series that I'm writing here is just mostly inspired by the trailer and one-off scenes. It is not a direct retelling of Devil May Cry Season 2. At all. I'm doing my own thing, and I've had up to Act 5 written before the series ever dropped. I'm currently writing up to Act 8 and 9. That's how different I'm being. There are storylines I'm deliberately changing as I'm watching Devil May Cry to make sure I'm not just doing too much predictions. Because it's not that hard to predict this series, okay? You can tell pretty quickly from watching the trailers how certain storylines are going to turn out. Because, yeah, we'll both agree, this writer is not creative in the slightest. He's just having fun with the story. Okay, drop the rant. 3 minutes, 4 minutes. That's much better than last time. I'm not talking anymore about it. Let's review what we have for Act 1. Spike woke up. He had 2 visions. One vision showed Tempest, showed the mysterious other dragon, which we won't be getting much of in this first book. Up to, I want to say, Act 8, where he gets a sudden big story arc. Well, not really big, it's only 2 chapters. But yeah, we got Act 8. This is where he'll be showing up. For a little while. That was in one of the visions. Tempest was in the other. And then we had the mysterious mirror with the 3 characters on the other side. This is not a reference to Devil May Cry, nor is it a reference to other shows that I'm referring to in this series. This is just straight up a reference to My Little Pony, the series. You guys have watched My Little Pony plenty of times. You know who the fuck these 3 are in the mirror. I don't need to tell you. I don't need to be hinting, slinting, or anything. They will be in the 3rd book. Why are they going to be in the 3rd book? Because I actually laid breadcrumbs back in book 1 that they'll be appearing. What those breadcrumbs are, you'll have to wait and find out. Overall, you don't need to read both books. If you guys are just brand new readers coming in from book 2, and you're like wondering, how much do I need to read of book 1? You don't actually need to read anything of book 1. I play things very loosey-goosey on the continuity. There are references directly to Book 1. It is great that you have read Book 1, but the reaction that Spike had to the fake Fluttershy is built solely in this first act. It does not require context of stuff he did in Book 1. We know from the precipice of this whole story beat that the main six are dead. That is revealed in the opening, in the very first chapter, in the prologue of the first book. It is referenced in the friggin' description of this book that the main six are dead. So of course, he's going to have a bad reaction when he sees the fake Fluttershy. Obviously, Tempest is not, because she's never met Fluttershy, and she'll gladly rip apart this fake. Other than that, really fun ideas. Let's see, what else? Then we jump ahead to... Act 1 featured the visions. Then we went on to his travels through Ponyville, seeing certain buildings, certain stuff, memories coming up. I wanted to spend a good chunk in Ponyville on purpose because, again, it's been a while since he's been here. 5 years. Then we ran into Spitfire. Really some cool ideas I'm doing with her. She'll be the main love interest for Spike for the majority of the story. He'll be running into Smolder a few times, certainly. There'll be sort of a Rarity-Gabby rivalry between Spitfire and Smolder at first. Some really funny moments. It'll be mostly Spitfire for the majority of this storyline until we get into Book 3, where I will be resuming the Spike and Smolder romance, okay? It's mostly for two reasons. One, Spitfire's my favorite character, okay? I adore Spitfire. She is peak character design, peak character writing, all of it. I love her. So I thought, why not make one of my favorite characters the next main ship? And also it gives Smolder more room to do other stuff. So where she's not completely chained down to being Spike's bitch. I wanted Smolder to spend time with Twilight, which you will be seeing in the start of Act 2. The first chunk of Act 2 will be basically interactions between Twilight and Smolder. Well, really Smolder and the other characters in Canterlot before she finally pulls Twilight out of her funk. Not really. Twilight's going to be in her funk for a while. But still, the idea is for Smolder to see the ponies as more than just enemies. See them as real people. Ponies, whatever. Applejack's isms are getting to me. Really makes it hard to write some of these stories because I want to write down the word people, but the vernacular doesn't work when we're talking about ponies, dragons, griffins, and so on. There are no peoples in this universe. And as for the other dragon breeds, we will be getting to them soon enough. But how I'm handling the pacing this one is essentially 2 acts per place. Because holy fucking shit, the acts were an utter freaking mess in Book 1. I spent like 4 or 5 acts with Nidhogg. Only 1 act on Echidna where Spike didn't even meet her. Yeah, it was an utter fucking mess. And I will be rectifying that. He will eventually meet Echidna in the mountains. I say that every act is going to be every place is going to be 2 acts long. Not really for the mountains. The Macintosh Mountains will be more than 2 acts long because it will also be reintroducing Echidna, okay? It will be reintroducing Blue Blood and a bunch of other shit, okay? It's probably going to be the biggest story beat outside of, outside of Storm King, which I think will be 3 acts if I remember correctly. Actually, yeah, the Macintosh Mountains will be roughly 4 acts, so it is going to be longer. But yeah, there's gonna be 3 acts for the Storm King's place. And I'm thinking about doing some things for the Nightfall Cliffs. I might save that for the 3rd book, because I really like this idea of the Nightmare Cliffs in general. I need to find out if there's a book on those, because that feels like a direct reference to Nightmare Moon. I'm like, what the hell is this place? I want to know more about this place. I want to explore this place. But yeah, that's either going to appear at the tail end of book 2, or it's going to be a major plot point for book 3. Because I just like that idea, okay? Heck, I might save it for book 3 and feature another dragon breed there. Either way, we won't be seeing much of Ember at all outside of tiny tidbits, okay? We're mostly knowing there's a war going on. Wait, why am I moving that? Okay. Now you guys can't see what I'm moving. But anyway. Certain things I can. In the background. Blah, blah, blah. We won't be seeing much of Ember in this storyline at all. Mostly because she's fighting Shining Armor and Cadence. And for those who don't know who the main villain is of all 3 books, I do name drop him a few times in book 2. But he was a major villain in book 1. Bit of a mystery in book 1. I do just straight name drop him in book 2. I don't hide the mystery, because by that point there's no reason to hide the mystery. Spike knows who it is. Why would he keep calling him by his other name? If you guys know who the main villain is for book 1, he's going to be the main villain for book 3. He is not going to be the main villain for book 2 at all. Hence the reason we won't be seeing much of Ember or the Crystal Empire at all. Most of the storyline is going to be around Canterlot and the hidden dragon breeds. It's going to be a lot of fun there. We're going to see plenty of stuff with Nidhogg and Stolas in this mysterious chunk of map over here that I told you with the constant intersections. You notice that's right between the Macintosh Mountains and so on. And another dragon breed. Yeah, that's kind of on purpose, folks. There is a massive chunk of story beats happening there, and mostly because Macintosh Mountains are so huge. Got nothing else really to say outside the fact that, again, I told you Act 2 will start with Twilight before we switch back to Spike and his first encounter with the Storm King. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the story. I'm hoping to draw in more once the bonus chapter drops. It will be dropping after this video goes up on YouTube. I think like right afterward I'll be doing it. Yeah, right afterward. After that, we'll take a small break. I want to say 2 or 3 days. We'll be returning, I want to say, either Thursday or Friday, somewhere around there. I'm not doing a full week break, no. That will be after Act 2. I'm going to be doing a full week break just to cleanse myself. Because, yeah, I'm already at Act 8. But that's due to the fact that I'm writing 3 chapters a day, folks. You guys are only getting 1 chapter getting posted to you, but I am writing 3 chapters a day, and it is draining me. I need to take a break, a breather, to catch up on editing some of the chapters that are already finished. Most of the chapters for Act 1 through 4, it's actually Act 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5 are done. I don't need to do any major editing there. Act 6 does need major editing. There's a lot of cleanup there because I had the chapters arranged very differently before, and I think I lost one of them when I was moving them around. I'm very certain I lost one of them. And for the longest time when I was writing Act 6, funny thing, I never put down a chapter 70 for the longest fucking time. I wrote down all the chapters, as in like chapter 61, 62, 63, 64, so on. And then when I got to chapter 70, I skipped over it and just like went 69, 71, 72, and I'm like, I've got all the chapters written down. Chapter names written down. Now I can write the chapters. I got to writing down all the chapters, and I'm like, wait a minute. Where the fuck is chapter 70? And I miscounted the fucking chapter 70. And it almost made me wonder, and I'm still wondering to this day, did I skip chapter 70 in the original book? I'm going to go ahead and check that real quick. That's still bugging me. 70. Stop. Okay, we do have a chapter 70. Did I miss any other miscounts? Like, could you guys tell me? We'll have a good laugh about it. Tell me in the comments of book 2 if I miscounted any chapters from book 1. Because that'd be hilarious if I did. It's jarring that it even happened at all. I guess because these acts are so much longer than the other ones, it's 12 chapters per act. That's going to be the idea. So if it ever feels like an act is short one chapter, please tell me. We're going to have a lot of fun. I hope to see more comments and more thoughts and ideas. There was one moment, like, I'm not sure what the hell happened. You guys did notice it in the comments. I was talking to someone, right? And they're like, I want to discuss more, but I need your Discord. I give them my Discord, and suddenly they get canceled by the admins. I'm like, what the fuck happened? It can't be because they asked for my Discord. Other people have asked for my Discord and didn't get absolutely fucking murdered by the admins. So what's going on here? Were they a bot the whole fucking time and I didn't know? Because I go over to Discord. Oh, the page is reloading. Go over to Discord. And yeah, they're online right now. They're online right now. And they still haven't replied to me. They said, at most, how you doing? And I'm just like, hello. I'm super busy at the moment for that day because I was just nonstop busy. And I was ready to talk to them Thursday. They're like, sure, we'll talk Thursday. And then Thursday, they get their account fucking nuked by the admins. And I have not heard back from them since. At all. They are currently online right now. They are in green. And I am still curious if they're a bot or not. They probably are. Because I did tell them what the fuck happened. Why is your account suddenly dead? If you're a bot here to buy commissions from me, I will block you on site. Because funny enough, I think that's actually, yeah, there was actually 2 bots in these threads so far. Let's see. Yeah, there was him. I think her name was. I don't want to say her name out loud because I don't want to ruin her if she actually is a real person. But down to like 3rd comment in, there is great. We got another one that's referencing an actual bot that did show up and demand a commission from me. Hey, straight up like, I will help you create art for your store. I'm like, you're a bot. You've never read a single ounce of my story at all. I know you haven't. Because these bots will show up for like the most obtuse things. My one-off Klopp stories. They will show up and it's like, I will make an art piece for your story that seems really good and long lasts. Like, dude, it's just 2 characters humping. There's not a story there. I do better stories than my actual longer shit, and they rarely ever get a freaking comment like that because the ratings aren't good. I know why you're here, because the ratings are good. That's simple. Because my story got featured when it first came out, as it seems to do a lot lately, and then completely vanished from the featured afterward. But it was just long enough for those bots to show up and demand for a commission. Like, no, I'm not giving you a commission. I got no fucking money. So yeah, that one got nuked for understandable reasons. That one actually did ask for a commission. But then this other character, who actually replied to me a few times, who actually did talk to me in the threads of this story, and then they get nuked when they finally get my Discord, and I'm finally free enough to talk to them. And I'm wondering, were they a bot the whole fucking time? I mean, if they're not, then I'll gladly delete that comment, because I feel genuinely offended when a bot shows up like that. I'm so offended, because I love talking about my stories. And luckily, Rose showed up. We got talking back and forth. I love that. Drama queen. They're always good stalkers. They've talked to me on plenty of my stories. I see them occasionally in other people's comments. They have a similar vibe of, like, the dialogue thing I've noticed. Like, I can't remember which one of them. I think it was... They like making dialogue. They've dropped this a few times in my DMs, where, like, they'll drop some dialogue and my DM's like, yeah, that's really fun. I like that. Can't remember which one was it. I can't look it up right now because I've got so many other random messages in my DMs. Oh shit, that dude asked me to review his story and I still haven't. Well, actually, I reviewed a little bit of their story, but I got sidetracked by other stuff. I guess I could do that real quick over the break. How long's the video been going? Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead and stop it here, folks. Anyway, as I said, the bonus chapter will be coming up. It'll be posted right after this one. It'll be featuring Twilight in a scene I've been wanting to do since the first book. And I'm going to have a bit of a twist, a bit of fun with it. But if you guys don't care about the smut, you can skip half of that chapter and go to the other end of it, okay? For the important story beats. Anyway, folks, see you later.